live from the Purple Cow Branding Studios.
Welcome to Network Today 2023.
Unbelievable, Sheryl. 2023. Did last year go by so fast?
Oh my gosh. Well, in case you forgot, this is Rob Bliss. I'm Sheryl Powers. And we're here to take you from meeting people to
Making money.
That's right. Faster.
Much faster.
And this is super exciting. So we spent some time over a little eggnog and came up with some stuff for y'all. And I think this is going to be good. So we've got a theme for the year. Because we have a whole year. Last year we just had a half a year. So this year we have a whole year to activate on this theme, and it's networking stop. Now you say,
what I'm saying, Sheryl, is stop networking. I'm mad as Huhu, and I'm not going to network anymore.
That's right. So
what do you say about that, Sheryl?
Here's what my husband says. What the flip, Sheryl? The show's about networking. You tell people to stop networking?
Well, I'm serious.
So here's the deal. We don't want to tell you not to network, but we want to tell you not to network the way you've been networking before.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the point.
So to your point, that's changing the mindset.
Yes.
That's your whole thing is let's change the mindset. This book, Networking is Not Working by Derek Coburn, is really pretty rad. Is rad a word?
Yeah.
Can I say rad? It's pretty rad.
It is now. I like it.
You recommended I read it. I actually did. Pretty good go through on here. And some awesome discussions on why he says he had to change the way networking was going. This is so good.
Yeah, and to the point, Sheryl. I mean, I had a breakthrough last year. I mean, 2022 was very successful for us, and it was because of networking. But we did what we've talked about in the show last year was we've got to change our networking mindset. Yeah. We've got to look at things differently. So we've got to get out of that old traditional approach to networking.
That's right. So if you have tuned into the other episodes, I think we've got 30 or so, 30-ish, because we had some other fun things that we threw in there, episodes from last year. Certainly, if this is new to you, go back, go through those. This is going to be a shorter version. We're looking at just a few minutes, right? So under 15. And we really want to go through what we're going to talk about this year, kind of what's in our heart regarding the theme of networking stop and why you're mad.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start off with that. Why am I mad? And I love that movie, Network, 1976, which I think won a couple of Academy Awards. Kind of a crazy movie, but you know what? The thing that I'm mad about is how when we go to these networking meetings, it really turns out to be a happy hour. It turns out to be having lunch. We don't get down to realizing this is business. Yeah. We've got to be making money.
Yeah. So to the point of, I'm going to flip over here. I'm glad you said that because he says, this is what Derek said. I made little notes here about why he had to change his networking mindset, right? He didn't use those exact words, but he said he went to two networking events, tallied up his hours. It was about 5 hours, and he had nothing to show for it. So what was going wrong? Right? A lot of things are going wrong. And so that was really the precipitator of the book itself and helping people learn how to have discussions. And he gives some really great tactics in here. But I found that interesting that we all have aha moments. And his was, I just went to 2 networking events. I spent 5 hours and I got butt kiss. So nada.
Well, and that, we all need a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
And I think this is the time to do it, the beginning of the year, and we've got to change the mindset, and we've got to do something differently. Otherwise, we're that that expression that we hear all the time, that we're on the treadmill and we're just spinning our wheels, and the definition of insanity, right?
Yes.
And so I want to change that this year, Sheryl, and that's what we're going to do on Network Today.
Yes, we are, and we really want to help you develop tactics. So there are a lot of things. So again, over the holidays, we had lots of nog and we had lots of extra time. And we did some digging and had some discovery in regards to some other things out there. There are a lot of networking tips. But I don't know that there's anything that really takes you through the full cycle, start to finish, a full 360-degree. Here's the problem. Let's identify the problem. Let's recreate your headspace.
Right.
And now let's move into real tactics, right? And then how can you grow your business? So that's our goal here, is to help change what's in the headspace.
Right.
Right. This is what my pastor's wife said this past week. Man, it was brilliant. So they've got 10 kids.
Wow.
I know.
Oh my God.
And she's a homeschooler. God bless. She's amazing.
Wow.
She's amazing. So she talked about the junk drawer. You got to clean the junk drawer. Or you just have more and more junk piles. And this is the perfect time to clean your networking junk drawer. Right.
No, absolutely. You know, it's that time where we all, put down our New Year's resolutions. We're going to do our goals. And yes, we're really going to do it this year. But I think, and I said this in one of my LinkedIn posts last week is that what I'm going to change, because I fall in that category. Every year I write down a piece of paper and within 30 days, boom.
Does it go in your junk drawer?
Yeah, it goes into my junk drawer. But this year what I did was I did not write my goals down. What I did was study about truly, I did research and studied what do I really want to accomplish, why I want to accomplish, and then what steps am I going to take to accomplish them. Yeah. And if it didn't make past what I said there, then it didn't become a goal.
That's right.
When we say we got to write goals for 2023, is we take out a piece of paper, get our pen on, we just start 1, 2, 3. And then we don't really, why are we going to buy into that? So so I'm really taking my time. I have not finished my goals yet for 2023.
Yeah. Well, unless you clean the junk drawer, you can't take the other ancillary things and begin to then file them away. Right. It just keeps piling on itself. And I think that is, when I was listening to her talk about that, and now that we're talking about networking, it kind of is the same type of thing. And that I think networkers' junk drawer becomes really overwhelmed. You can't close it anymore. So they just give up.
Absolutely.
Like Derek was like, hey, I spent 5 hours. So what's the problem? The problem is us.
Absolutely.
Not Rob and me. I'm talking
everybody.
About, right. I'm talking about personal responsibility here. So,
and again, I like what you said. We're going to be presenting some new tactics this year so that we can really change the mindset of accomplishing these goals. I mean, an example for me is last week, like one of the last networking, it's the first networking event of the year. And I was intentional. Took my piece of paper, took my pen. I was going to write down the people that were there. I was going to keep score. I was going to see who I wanted to have a one-on-one with. I lost a piece of paper. No. Well, I know what you're going to say here. I'm setting myself up here for you to really whack me over the head. But hey, be patient with me here. Okay. So what I then did, I said, oh my gosh, that was a great networking meeting. I had so much information written down. Oh my gosh. And this is like, a day or two later. So I said, well, I'm just going to see if I can. And Sheryl, I couldn't do it. Thank goodness. This morning, I found the piece of paper.
Your dog coughed it up.
Yeah.
Aren't you a lucky one?
But man, that was my $1,000 bill, Sheryl.
Yeah.
And that, again, reminded me of that, how we've got to be intentional when we go to a networking meeting. We got to bring the scorecard out and do it now.
So, to your point, this was early on in the book here from Derek Coburn. Master networkers versus biz card swappers.
Ooh.
Do you remember this part?
Yeah.
I mean, you can remember every book, all the lines, but that piece of paper is elusive. So this is funny. Anyway, he said you get more wins by delivering endless value.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to determine what that looks like. How do you do that? But being intentional, certainly about providing referrals, certainly about scheduling one-on-ones. He goes through, read the book for yourself. It's awesome. But providing value first makes you a master networker versus a biz card swapper.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a swapper.
No.
No longer. I have been a swapper.
All right. Well, me too. But yeah, I think I did. I think I started my year last year by really thinking about bringing value, and that was part of the creation of Rob's Library,
Yeah.
and then having that book again, bringing value to what we can share with our audience.
Right. So contributing to your environment, to your community, that is the goal.
Yeah.
And being proactive about it, doing that first before you get you get that referral, really makes you a winner, I think.
Yeah.
It's great if you get a referral first, but try to beat people to the punch.
No, I agree absolutely.
So I thought that was really interesting. Do you remember what a takeaway for you on this book was?
I think it's what you said earlier, again, is, bring value, don't be a business card swapper.
Right.
I think, I've got more business cards in my crates in my office than anybody, because I did a lot of cold calling in the old days. So I just collected cards. And again, that was my mentality going to a networking meeting.
Yeah.
And again, that it was like from reading that book, which I read probably, a couple of years ago, it hit home. I'm doing this wrong.
Yeah. So here really is the Network Today challenge. And that's to go into every networking situation with the thought process of providing value to that situation immediately. So here are a couple of things that he says as we close, right?
Okay.
I know we're going to keep this short.
Okay.
So focus on the clients, opening doors for others. Here's a word he uses, and that's nucleating. What
the heck?
What the hoo-hoo?
I remember that word. I still don't know what it means. Help me out here.
Nucleating. I can only imagine if you break it down into the core of the word nuclear, right? So it would be creating, I would assume, a really
community.
That's right, a really kind of circular audience. Effectively using events. He goes through events here. That's not going to be part of the topic here, but that's a really great discussion that we need to have.
Okay.
Is helping people understand how to utilize the different events.
Right.
And then triggering ongoing reciprocity. Like our discussion with Sean Rosensteel, that reciprocity seems to be an ongoing thread for successful networkers. So be a successful networker.
And I want to kind of close it off, Sheryl, by saying I'm mad as Huhu. Stop networking. I'm not going to do it in 2023. But to your point, I've got to change. I've got to bring value first.
That's right. That's right. So we've got a whole lineup of amazing guests this year. I know. So they're already locked and loaded. So here are a couple of things you can expect as we close this segment. So give me 1 minute. Amazing guests for sure. At the end of every quarter, we're going to recap the whole quarter.
Yes.
So if you do miss a lot of them, you'll be able to catch that recap. So I think that's going to be super great. We've already pegged the end of June, the location to be determined, but it'll be DFW for our conference, and it's going to be outstanding. So we're going to be way ahead of the curve this time, so you can plan for it and make sure you work your vacation around it. Right. And we're going to start rolling out some entrepreneurial first courses.
I'm really excited about that part. Again, is, like you say, we're learning these new tactics. We're going to be able to present them to our audience because, again, the goal this year is to have our best year ever by improving our networking.
That's right. And we can't do it without you. So join us, please, online. We want to hear from you. info@networktodaydfw.com. And give us your thoughts. Give us your success stories. Give us your pain points.
Yes.
We want to hear it all. All right. So Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money.
See you soon.
This has been a Purple Cow production.